It looks like another day in the hot seat. Like usual, you never know what's going to happen. Are we going back up to 410? Are we going to cut through the 400 today? Bulls want to hold that 400. 395 is the warning spot for me on the downside. We'll see what happens. But guess what? Somebody's still short Tesla. Let's get it. Let's get it. Live trading right here on Benzinga.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. I mean, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, team, let's go ahead. The team is back all together. There you guys see the boys. They're back. They're back. Ready to get into the action. What's going on, guys?
Good morning. We're back.
It's a rainy day. It's a foggy day outside. Looks like it's snowing, but it's
0
just
degrees
foggy.
here right now. 0.
Yes.
And actually, interesting, my day started off a little bit weird. I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning to find out that the power to my entire building was gone. So my heater was off. About 5 minutes later, I saw the power company trucks roll through, and 15 minutes later, the heat was back on. So, that was close.
Wow. That would have been crazy.
Yeah.
0 degrees, no heat. Yeah.
Someone can die in that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's when I start doing fires off the balcony, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, I'm not going to start anything on fire. But thanks, Mitch.
Those college barbecues. All right, let's get to the action. Let's start taking a look. I'll let you guys know exactly what I'm looking at least for first on my swing trade on Tesla. Still short from the 178.30s, team. What are we going to get on Tesla today? Yesterday, we came down here. We went down there towards a low in the after hours, so 163.30s. I'm looking for a move back towards 161 here out the gates. I do think that we could get that quick little whoosh down. I'm going to look to sell into that whoosh and just take the profits. I could hold on and try to bring this down all the way, but there's no point. For me, this is more reversal style action, trying to get into the profits and then look for the next trade, right? Because I do think Tesla could bounce back easily right back up there towards, let's say, the 170s today, the 180s today. I'm not going to give up that drop from yesterday. I want to take the profits and then maybe use that profits to attack it at a later date with what? With profits, right? Using those profits to give myself a little bit of risk a little bit later down the line. Right now, I'm just going to look to take that profits and run, and we'll see what happens. SPY overall bouncing a little bit here. Went to a low of 398.18. We need to see what happens out the gates. Do we get a push to 405? I think we're going to get a test of that 400. It's going to be important to see if the bulls can stand there and hold the price action. One of the things that I think also is an important thing to keep in mind, the FOMC meeting later in this week, will we get a front run down action before the FOMC meeting, or will it come after? Some people are thinking that the rug gets pulled after. I think that the rug gets pulled before. So we'll be looking to see what happens, of course, with the SPY. Overall, what's the bullish action move? Bullish action move is back above 405 and holding. Because if you get back above the 405, you can easily come back for Friday's high, which is the 408.16, and going for that 410 move, right? So bulls above 405 is where I think you're really getting back into control. Yesterday, close of 401.44. That's where we're close right now. We're trying to recover that. We'll look to see if we recover it or not. All right, that's going to do it for my outlook there. I'm going to go ahead and kick it to the boys. You guys in chat, let me know what you guys are looking at. And it looks like it's freezing in Colorado. Guess what? Not freezing here, unfortunately. I would take the cold. I wouldn't mind a little bit of snow, but I guess fog will do. I'm with fog, like Zunaid right now.
Yeah, plenty of fog out here.
Yeah, just plenty of fog outside. Yeah, it just looks like the Smoky Mountains. Let's just say that much. All right, let's get to you guys' stocks. What are you guys looking at? Who wants to take control?
Ryan?
Yeah, I can go.
All right, there you go. Got you up, my friend.
So first of all, was out yesterday. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is kind of getting my bearings for today, going through some of the stuff that happened yesterday, really didn't even look at the market, the news flow, or anything like that. So I want to kind of go back and get some of that done. I've been unable to do it so far this morning. I'll probably use that 15-minute time period right after the opening bell where I wasn't going to trade anyway and kind of just get my bearings for things. Looking at the actual market here itself, looks like the futures were a little bit lower and have traded back up. So we're at about even here. And I noticed that the thing that's outperforming seems to be Bitcoin. So a lot of the Bitcoin stocks might be hot early on here. We'll see how that goes when the market actually opens. Now I'm looking at the movers tool here, and there's a couple of stocks that look intriguing. First one that I noticed here is GNS is actually back on the list. This was one from last week. Looks like you folks had a wild day with GNS yesterday. Wondering if any of you traded it here. I wouldn't be shocked if you did. GNS here, we went as high as 726 yesterday, came all the way back down to about 460. Now today we're trying to push back up. So judging by the fact that yesterday this went, I really think that this is going to need to have a repeat on the volume. And I think we'd at this point need to really clear out 567. So we got a little bit of waiting here on GNS. The current VWAP is 5.17, and we're above that. So that's a good sign for potential long trades. But let's see what happens when the market actually opens. We've seen this have a couple of runs in the past, so I'm not going to necessarily rule it out. But if it doesn't have any type of buying strength today, the likelihood of this being in play is rather low. That being said, this one has run on us recently. We've had multiple trades on GNS recently, so we're going to keep that one on the back burner. One of the others from the list here that I recognized right away is going to be BuzzFeed. So BuzzFeed's still making its moves here. Remember, we had a huge move here on January 26th. Looks like the move on Friday was pretty good as well. Yesterday, we had a move right out of the open, basically a bounce and a trade back up. It gave everything back here. So the plan of attack for today is going to be to make sure that the same thing doesn't happen. So number one, if it sells off, maybe come up with a level down here. If we take a look, this is a 5-minute chart. You can see after this sold off, it consolidated a little bit in here before making another move towards the highs. And that was accompanied with pretty strong buying volume. So I guess the same thing can be at play here. We'll see if it ends up materializing. If it does, in fact, sell off, I think the first thing to do would be wait for it to confirm a bottom and wait for it to consolidate a little bit. It's possible that it just sells off and is just a falling knife all day. And if that's the case, you definitely want to avoid it. Now, as far as a long side trade, I really need it to clear out this 335. This represented first the initial sell-off and then the end of the day sell-off yesterday. So it's nice to see this candle kind of spike here in the morning, but realistically, we retrace that move right away. This is going to need to have pretty good volume. Going to need to build and then trade above 335. Given what this did yesterday, given the action yesterday and the volume compared to the day prior, I got to think that this is probably a lower percentage, but we don't know yet. You want to keep that on watch here just in case. Now let's go through some of the other stocks here on the movers tool. One of the first ones that I noticed here this morning is going to be MSGM. This is Motorsport Games. Motorsport Games are trading higher. The company announced the debt for equity exchange with Motorsport Network. Also, investor Mike Zoy reported a purchase of 338,983 shares of Motorsport Games with an average price of $295. So that price is considerably lower than where it's at right now. Nice big buy, though. That's popping it up here today. The interesting thing, if we take a look at the 5-minute chart here, this thing is just really kind of doesn't trade a whole lot. In fact, let's get an average volume number. On average, trades about 134,000 shares of volume. Today, we've already traded 6.5 million. So definitely eyeballs here. Now, I would actually just try to play the technicals here. The first thing that I'm looking at here is this $7 level. I have it marked off at 703, but for the most part, it's just going to be 7. If it loses this 7, this thing is pretty gappy all the way down to 5. And so we want to make sure that it confirms any type of support for us to get a tactical entry on there. I don't even know if that's going to happen yet. We'll see. But this one making a huge move here, up 181% here in the pre-market. Wow, that's big time. Next here on the list is going to be Hillstream Biopharma. So it's good to see that our theme is still kind of rocking there, right? Bios and therapeutic companies seem to be making large outsized moves on a fairly regular basis. Hills here went as high as 176. It's retraced that move. Looks like we're really kind of leaking here, all the way down to about 123 at its bottom. This one, again, same deal. Got to make sure that this confirms a bottom first. This could very, very easily just kind of sell off, pop like it's going to run, draw in longs, and then completely roll over to the lows. So let's make sure it confirms a bottom and then get some type of buying momentum. FOXO, this is one that the chat brought up several times last week. In fact, I believe, if I recall correctly, this was a penny stock last week. Indeed, it was. Looks like we were as high as 154 here this morning, retraced pretty much that entire move back down to about 106. Interestingly here, VWAP at 120, 121, price hanging out around 119. So let's see if we get a build and a move through that VWAP on volume right out of the open. That could happen early. And if that happens, we might have an opportunity here on Foxo. 154 going to be that day high. I think if we get all the way back up there, you're likely to have a pop, but unsure if we're actually going to get back up there at this point. First thing that we need to clear out here is going to be 125. And I guess if you wanted another mile marker along the way, 134 would be your next spot there on FOXO. Next here is going to be PBLA. This is Panbella Therapeutics. And again, this kind of goes with our theme here. This looks like just kind of a low-priced therapeutics company. We were as high as 221, leaked all the way back here to 179. Let's see if there's any news here for this. Looks like we've got a Form 8. We can go through that in a little bit. Lind Global reports a passive stake. That was from yesterday. So it looks like, no, not really seeing anything of note here. Didn't really have much yesterday until the after hours. Let's see if this move holds up. This is, again, one, we want to have this stock find its footing before we try to trade it. Now, back from the dead, Carvana. So this continuing to trade higher here. The catalyst that we have here, Carvana shares are trading higher amid continued short squeeze volatility. As far as I'm aware, nothing has really happened here in Carvana. I don't see any other news here. If we take a look at the chart for the past couple of days, you can see Carvana really just acting squeezy. That's a really good description of it here. This one yesterday, what a monster move. Would love to hear from the chat if you guys traded Carvana yesterday. That would be really interesting. Taking a look here at the short interest, as of January 12th, we're still at 86% of the float shorted. The one thing to note here, only 2.7 days to cover. So we are seeing it pop here. We are seeing it pop for multiple days. Really, unless this days to cover gets higher, I would imagine that this squeeze is going to end fairly soon. I don't think, in other words, I don't know that you can really expect like a multi-day, multi-week squeeze event like we've seen with AMC or GME or something of that nature. Low days to cover means that those short positions can get closed relatively quickly. We'll see if that's happening. We are actually due for another update here on the short interest pretty soon. So when we get that in there, that should give us some more information. That short interest data looks a little bit stale. Now, as far as the actual levels here today, so first of all, Carvana did actually take out yesterday's intraday high in the pre-market here today. Yesterday's intraday high, I have it at 1086. That might have been 1087 if I marked that a little inaccurately, but right about there, 1086, 1087. Went as high as 1144 here today. We're currently above yesterday's high, so that's pretty interesting. I would say that as soon as the market opens, I would expect this to sell off a little bit. Even this kind of like what we got yesterday, right? Even though we were showing strength into the open, right around the open, we sold off a little bit before the volume really kind of flooded in there and then took this thing higher. If that same thing happens today, I would expect this 1144 to go for sure. So that would be the first spot. If you're able to actually take this on a move up prior to 144, I would start looking to peel some of that off post 144. I got a whole bunch of stocks in here. These I think were the most interesting one. Here's the other one, CNTX, Context Therapeutics. This one actually jumped up while I was talking about some of the other stocks here. Interesting note here. This went as high as 118. This is a penny stock yesterday. Went as high as 118, came all the way back in beneath the VWAP, and now trading higher. So to me, next move here is probably a regression towards that VWAP, which is now at 113. Let's see. Maybe we can actually get this to kind of bottom out right at 118, have the VWAP curl up and meet it at about that spot. That would be a fairly decent entry for a potential bounce if it shows that type of strength. If that's the case, then if we do bounce, look for 137 to be one of those resistance points. We'll see what the level 2 looks like when the market's actually open in there. That's about it off the list. I know I see LAC in here. Was wondering if you guys were going to talk about that. Zunaid, why don't you go give a rundown on yours, and then as the pre-market kind of fills out. Oh, you know what? We're only 2 minutes until we go to open.
You're good. All right, cool. All right. No, dude, no worries at all. All right, cool. Let's just go ahead and take a look at SPY above 402s where I'll be interested in some calls. And of course, a breakdown of 400 is where I'd be interested in some puts. Something to keep an eye on yesterday is that you had this 402 level that was so strong. I mean, it was just incredible. Once we got that crack and a retest, it was a beautiful fade to the downside. So we got a chance to play the puts yesterday. We'll look to kind of take a direction depending on which way it goes. Let's set an alert here. Bangity bang bang right there as well. Let's take a look at Tesla. This 164 level is what held a couple of days ago. And now we'll kind of see that a pre-market it held as well. I've got an alert set because if it goes ahead and cracks 164, I'd be interested into the downside on ticker TSLA. On Carvana, I've got a buy here at 1003. With a stop loss of about 983 and looking to take profits at 1043. Currently at $11 though, so it's got to come down a whole dollar. Not sure if it's going to do that or not. You do have a pre-market high though of about 1150. So if it takes that out, that could be interesting to the upside. Taking a look at Lucid, if it can come back above $12, that's an area I'd be interested in because look how strong it was yesterday. So many touches. Someone did not want this to go down below 12. They clearly didn't have enough cash to keep it above 12, however. So if we can get back above 12, I'd be interested to take this one to the long side. Baba, I wanted to short this one below 110 yesterday, but unfortunately it never got there. Not really too keen in on this one, so I'm going to leave this one alone. Nvidia, we shorted this one off of the 198, I believe it was. Yeah, the 198 crack. Look at that. As soon as the 198 cracked, we went all the way to the downside. And now, to me, this 192, 193 area, is going to end up being a little bit of resistance if it wants to come right back up. But if it does successfully come back up, maybe we see a run up to about the 195s or so. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything else here. Meta, as soon as that 150 faded, it never gave us a retest. And it just faded to the downside. Let me go ahead and turn my alerts off. So see, I knew that would happen. There you go. Let's take a look at UPST. I'm interested in that one. I believe they announced some layoffs. So we'll keep an eye and see how this one trades. What about MSG? I believe Ryan did go over this one. I'm glad you brought it up though again because I do have a trade set up at 704, 701 to get some fills with a stop loss of 676 and 679 would be my stop loss after getting filled at 704 and 701. Here we go. Good luck to everybody.
Dean is asking, would you play Ape? And if yes, how would you play it? No, Dean, I wouldn't play it. Period. I just wouldn't. We've covered that quite a bit here. The Ape AMC thing, not our cup of tea.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? See if we can get a quick scalp on SPY short if I get filled at 401.95. If I'm wrong, I'll lose $50. If I'm right, I'll make $50. You can see Tesla found some support, now heading to the upside.
Carvana first move here is down. It doesn't mean it's over yet, though. MSGM looks like that first move was kind of a head fake, right? Looks like it tried to go and got pulled right away. Excuse me, hovering right at its VWAP. Let's watch this here and see if this goes.
All right, team. Sorry about that. I was a little late. Had to deal
worries.
with
I'm
some
gonna
of the
try-
dogs.
I'm gonna try some CNTX here. My stop loss, however, is gonna be kind of short.
Just to put it out there, I'm out of the Tesla trade there. 164 hit on the pop there. It did come down there, so a little frustrated I wasn't here because I might have taken that first down move towards 162.78, but it popped right after that, stopped me out. Still made a hell of a good trade on like the profits. Put it in perspective, it's about 2 times my daily goal. So not a bad one-on-one trade.
CNCX.
Go ahead.
CNCX. We're in at 139. Looking to take profits at 149 if we can get it. Part of me wants to just let this ride, but
W saying, Ryan, thoughts on AI? So interesting stuff here. First of all, the move here this morning, taking out this kind of double top that we had from Friday and then yesterday intraday. AI definitely seems to be a hot theme right now. Still doing some work on this just to see what some of the really good companies are. I don't know. Maybe C3 AI is going to be one of the leaders here. I just don't know. The one thing is that I don't necessarily, I don't want this to kind of go the way of cybersecurity. Cybersecurity, there was a lot of talk about it for a while as a theme. A lot of the stocks popped, a lot of them moved, and a lot of them just regressed right away. Now, that being said, for day trading or for quick trading or for scalping or anything like that, these definitely seem to be the stocks that seem to be hot right now. Again, we need to do a little bit more work on some of the names. I would imagine some of these aren't going to be around. Some of them are likely to get consolidated, but I don't know the strength of C3 AI here. Looking at the daily chart, pretty awesome, right? We're kind of trading back into this consolidation area. Next spot, if we're able to hold this here, next spot for the upside that I'd be paying attention to is 20. 20 break, I think, at least sends us to test this high here about 23.5 or thereabouts.
All right, let's see what we can get here. Looking around for some moving. Let me filter out some volume.
CNTX halted, it looks like.
yeah, we're in a halt here. Good.
MSGM pulling back. I'm sorry, Zunaid, I ran you over again.
It's all you. Good. My stock's in a halt. It's all you.
You're in this, right?
Yeah, I'm in at 139 with 400 shares. Wherever I get out at this point. So.
Riot looks interesting today, team.
Yeah, with Bitcoin's move, that makes a lot of sense.
I like it right now on this pullback. Getting a little bit there at 612. Got a little bit right now. Willing to add
Hills
to this.
halted.
Our read on SPY was perfect. It just unfortunately didn't fill us, but that was a great drop. Gonna go ahead and cancel this since it didn't work out in terms of the fill space. All right, looks like we might get filled on our. Oh, you know what? I kind of want to go.
I have an order to add on Riot at 607. Just pulled back close to it, didn't get me. Like Riot on the daily chart, guys. Daily chart looks interesting. Look at this daily chart here. So you see the daily chart. Nice little kind of flagging pattern here. You could do it even more of a symmetrical look if you want. Also could look like a descending triangle pattern. We'll look to see if it gets up there, back towards 630s. $7 would be a nice push on the day. Back to you guys. What you looking at, my friend Ryan? Look at Mara right now, it looks like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm just looking at Mara. You were checking out Riot. I was looking at Mara. Mara seems to really be the one to trade recently, but I think that Riot has a better setup right now.
Got some ad on that 607.
Mara coming back in.
Try to buy some AI.
One more ad. You going for AI?
I'm gonna try some AI just to get my fix in. I got just 25 shares, but I want to buy 200 more at 1805s, 1807s. And the reason at 18 is because you can see that was resistance 2 days ago, resistance again yesterday. I'm wanting a retest and I can go ahead and get in on ticker AI again. Still waiting on CNTX though.
The Crow, the Crow. Yo, the Crow, when you gonna come on here and show us one of those master trades? Hulk Master Flex over here.
Yeah, especially the days I won't be here. That'd be a great fill.
Right? All right, team. I did get that fill on Riot. Willing to add on pullbacks on VWAP now. That's going to be a 610 add. I'm going to put that out there right now, but we're already to 615. So average right now is that 610. So I'm willing to add there. Now it's starting to go to 616. 625 is where I think we'll really get that lift. That's where we run into the pre-market high. I want to see if we can push through there, right through there, and then start pushing really. That's where we want to see volume increasing. Now we're starting to get that 618 look. And you guys know I'm not even the biggest fan of these miners, right? Like I'm kind of overall bearish on miners. But hey, money calls, right, Zunaid?
Sure does. CNTX, we went ahead and got unhalted, and I went ahead and got filled at 151. And there it is.
Nice trade.
Downside.
Money, 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 money.
So 1 for 1 on the day, and now it's going to come down. It can do what it wants to do. Now we focus back in on AI. Looks to see if we get a fill on the 1805s and 1807s. SPY still within that range. That short work. Unfortunately, I didn't get filled.
Hope Nade today, baby. Coming in.
No worries, pal. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. There's going to be something else I was buying. Oh, yeah, Carvana. Looking to buy 500 shares at the 1103 level. The reason I like this one is obviously because of the whole number and also the previous closes right there. No clue if it's going to work out or not, but I like it enough to go ahead and try to trade this one.
Got this 621 there. We'll look to see if we actually take off through the 625 now on pullbacks. I'll show you that on Riot, team. Riot! Who's ready to start a riot?
Look at Square. Let's take a look at SQ or Block, as the cool kids call it.
MSGM. I'll do it when you're done here.
You're good. Square above 82 should be just fine.
Looks interesting, too, for the pullback. Let's say slightly below 81s now. Closer towards the 80, 85.
Are you serious? Look at this. Hold on. Flip it to mine. So MSGM.
Yep, that's what I was going to cover.
704, 701 is where I wanted to get my fills. It went all the way down there, but didn't fill me, and it made a nice move back up. Man.
Well, Zunaid, the good thing here, I know that, you know, it is what it is. You missed it by just a couple of cents there. The good news here is that this did exactly what we were thinking, right? Initial move right after the open was going to be down. Didn't quite get to $7. Looks like it got 2 cents short of $7. And then ripped over $1. So the question now is, now that we're kind of pulling back here, does this come all the way back into the VWAP, and then does it hold? If it does, I think that's probably a nice opportunity here for another trade here in MSGM. Just be really careful with this one. Again, this one's extended over 200%. You can see how fast these knives can be. If you're going to take this trade, definitely management and watch it. This is not a trade where you take it and go to the bathroom or something like that.
Oh, come on. I was about to do it.
Your funeral, Mitch.
Nah, hell no. Hell no. I don't do those types of trades, man. That's why I actually have thought about doing penny stocks more, and then like thinking about things in a really slow like opportunity. So where like it pretty much needs to go like, let's say like 30 or 40% move to make me money. But like so small that if I lose, I wouldn't be too mad, right? And I think that I'm going to start thinking about some of those plays because you guys are pretty good on them a lot. But I need to go in it at like, let's say like even 2 shares at a time and build it up to like maybe 10 or 15, 20, 30 shares, probably max. And then that could still leave me a big run.
Yeah, and we'll see here the thing about trading these, and I know there are people that like this and people that dislike it. The thing about trading these is that you can actually boil this down to a system, right? And like you're saying, if you're going to take a position here and the position moves against you, if it's only moving 2 or 3 cents, then that's not necessarily going to bankrupt you. So just be active and manage the actual trade. That's why we're taking some of these. It seems like it's a repeatable process.
Loving it move right now, and Riot now up to 629. Now we're going to look for it to really start getting moving. Look at on the longer term trend. I do like it, especially even on an hourly chart. Look how it looks a lot cleaner, right? You guys know how I like my hourly levels, and I'm really close to 610. Looks like the support's around here at 595. Now 650 is going to come. I could sell there, but I have a feeling we're going to get a little pullback to 630s and then an extension above towards 7. So I'm going to take this more as a swing trade approach here. I have way bigger size than I normally would swing. So what I want to do is take some type of profit, right? Once we get to a decent amount. But this looks for me more like one of these approaches where the chart looks like it could have more of an expansion. So I'm going to give it a shot. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, nice little mention here. Really quick, GNS did exactly the same thing that MSGM did, except it actually hit 5. So if you were looking for a similar type of trade, you probably got filled on GNS. GNS now trying to go towards its high, her current day high of 553. I would imagine if it hits that here on this, it probably continues to go. And as a number of people in the chat are saying, AI continues to the upside here.
Sure does.
So another nice move here on AI. Did break that 1822. We're up another $1 from there.
Yeah, AI.
Monster move here.
We're in AI, but unfortunately, we never got the actual fills that we wanted at 1805s and 1807s on the retest, the 18 break. The futures at the moment are currently at 40.44, looking to break above 40.50, where it saw some resistance about an hour ago. And VWAP for me is about 40.33. So let's see which way it goes. But AI going nuts, crossed the 1950 mark. This is one of those times where you wish you didn't have risk management because you would have made a whole $1 on the move, but it is what it is. I'm just going to take the measly 25 cents and call it a Chipotle type of day. If it does want to retest 18,
Chipotle type of day. Okay.
If it does want to retest the 18s, though, I would be interested.
I want to try more and more to start using bar charts this year, but I find it so hard to use them because it, like, let's say like on here, it's not that I don't want to use them. I can use them personally to see them, but you guys can't see this to the right. Like, it's just hard to see to show you guys. And if I traded that, I can make them thicker, but
I've never understood.
I really like it.
I've never understood the benefit of switching away from a candlestick chart.
So this one, the reason why I like the bar chart, right, is that so it helps you see a lot of where the stock is closing, and you kind of ignore the wideness of the candle, the verticalness. I'll say it's not the wideness, it's the vertical part. That's the volatility in the stock right now. But what I like to do is I can focus more on where the clicks are. Let me see if I can make this a little thicker here so you guys can actually see this, because if not, you guys aren't going to even know what I'm talking about. And interrupt me if you want to interrupt, team, because I'm just playing this trade right now. Let me see how can I make this bigger. All right, I'll try to figure this out first, team. Let me just give it a second. Trying to make it to where you guys can see it.
SPY still can't get over that 402. I'm sure it tested a couple of times. Let's see. Yep, once, twice, 3 times to the downside. That 402 holding on strong. But if it breaks it, retest, I'd be interested.
MSGM broke beneath its VWAP here, although it's trying to reclaim it.
Yeah. That's the problem. So the big thing there is you're really just seeing the close. The open is the left wick. The right is the closing of the candle. And that helps you importantly see like how the stock is kind of moving up and down and where the dip buy areas are probably make sense. So I think it really helps on seeing the lows and the highs of the candle, especially focusing on closes. Where I really like to focus is not necessarily where the stock went up and down. Where did it close at? And is that downtrending or is that uptrending? You can clearly see that on the bar chart. The higher lows and things like that, those are the type of things you can clearly see on the bar chart. That's why I like it. So you could also set it up like this, where you had like a candlestick next to it, and you're using these to kind of distinguish. So like right now on the 3-minute on right, you see these candles, right? It looks like topping here on the candle side, but on the bar chart, it just looks like a step down. And now the key here for me would be for it to hold 616.
Noel here. This is an awesome comment, Noel. This is exactly the type of stuff that we're looking for here. So, waiting for the AI buzz to infiltrate biotech. Companies like SDGR, which I've never heard of, by the way. That's Schrodinger. Okay, cool. And ABCL sped up the discovery process with machine learning. So what's interesting here is, Noel, is that I like how you're kind of looking forward, right? You're identifying that there's clearly something going on in terms of a theme, and then you're waiting for the repercussions of that to meet another theme that you follow. And if I recall correctly, you've been on top of a lot of these biotechs since you've joined here. So I really like this thought process because this is more of the Wayne Gretzky approach, right? Skate to where you believe the puck is going, not to where the puck is, so that you can be ready as soon as that takes off. I'm going to add both of these to my watch list. I would recommend that the group does the same thing. Not necessarily a trade here today, but Noel's given you a possible intersection of two different themes that we're seeing and giving you some names to play. So really appreciate this great stuff here, adding both of these to my watch list.
Missed one this morning, though, but Victoria's Secret came with pre-announcement, it looks like here. You guys can see that on Benzinga Pro. So I'll show you guys that right now. If not, let me just, I got to share my other screen here. But definitely, you guys got to catch things like that, right? That's why I love using Benzinga Pro. This is how I found this trade, team. So I have my intraday scanner. I have it on my movers in 15 minutes of the regular session. What stocks are at the top? AI. What stocks there? Also VSCO. So Victoria's Secret stands out to me. I'm like, why is Victoria's Secret up 4.75% in the last 15 minutes? Look at here, click it, boom, see the pre-announcement there. They raised Q4 outlook. They raised also EPS outlook there. So definitely, and it also planned a 125 million accelerated share repurchase program. Victoria's Secret, nice little push there. 42s in reach.
SPY broke up above 402s. Trying to break pre-market highs. I agree, Walter. It's the main reason I started with BZ Pro and then found the other perks as well. But I agree 100%.
Like in this pullback needed to hold and then take out the highs on Riot. We're going to keep playing that. That looks good there. We'll look for it to keep working back up towards the 630s, take out the high of the intraday 632, go through that pre-market high and then continue pushing. We'll look to see next stop, I think, is 635 and then 650s.
All right.
Riot. Let's go, Riot. 630s. Come on. Kick up some volume through the 635. Let's go. Doesn't look bad right now.
Keith, interesting question here. So real quick, Keith saying, Ryan, one of the small caps we were talking about in the fall has gotten back up to highs where might it go if it breaks the current resistance? So generally speaking, with these breakouts, I don't necessarily have price targets. My answer would just be higher. Depends on what it is that you're actually trying to do here. Now with Lassie, I think what you're talking about is this formation, right? So we're curling back up towards that 550. I would imagine if this breaks, this is probably a 2-3 day runner, but I don't necessarily have a potential price target on where it goes. The other thing is that you have to ensure that this breaks, right? This could very easily trade up to or close to 550 and then get rejected again. And I mean, like the last time, the stock is no stranger to moving, 20% in a day, like it did here on October 17th after trying to reach that high. So first things first to watch, Keith, can we take out 527, which is where it stopped this last time it tried to go back up towards this high? And if we can, do we actually take out 550 or do we get rejected around there? I'm not sure on this particular company. I don't know anything about it other than kind of what we've gone over here. I know it's integrated manufacturing company for photonics-based industrial products and solutions, primarily laser cleaning technologies. So I can understand why it's important, but it just doesn't seem like a gigantic market. Maybe that's just my ignorance there. So I'd like to know a little bit more fundamentals take a look at peer into the balance sheet, see what that looks like a little bit, some of the other financial statements. But for this, as far as the actual break here, first things first, let's make sure that it actually breaks this top here at 550. We don't have that confirmed yet.
All right, guys. I'm finally starting to look at the Boyle and UNG trade because I finally got to my levels on UNG today where we went to the daily level close to 891. That's what I have been drawn for a while now. I'll show you guys the line. I created this line on September 6th, updated it on the 8th, and been waiting since then for the entry here. So now I need to start getting in. Now the only question is, as I missed the bottoming action this morning, what do I do? Do I chase here? So now I want to start averaging in. So I could either go for Boyle or UNG at this point. Boyle is going to probably move faster. So maybe I can get a little pullback on Boyle, go for that one. UNGs were the one that I feel like has more the daily level to go off of. But I'm starting to believe a little bit in this trade just because I've been waiting for these levels. It's pulled back significantly for that. Why do I like this level? Well, just go back all the way back on the monthly, and you can see in 21, we bottomed right around these $9. So I'm thinking maybe that could hold as support this time. I know that longer-term traders are probably seeing the same levels as me. So that's another reason why I think that you had this reaction off of 9 today, and now you're towards 920s. I'm looking for pullbacks to get in now. I'll let you guys know if I get it.
Yeah, you're not the only one, Mitch. A lot of people waiting on that nat gas trade, and as the weather starts to turn, I would imagine more and more people will follow that along. Looking here at Sober, just a massive move here. Looks like Crow caught this one. Sober, nice little push here. Really got this volume expansion that we talk about all the time. Really kind of ripped it right through 130. Went as high as 145 here. So Sober, huge move. Nice catch there, Crow. Certainly looks good.
MD, those 1 cent misses, MD. I know. I'm taking a look at Roku, possibly looking to enter here. Just waiting to see if this 1 minute the 5 minute candle closes. All right, we're in with 100 shares. I'm going to go to see if I can get another couple hundred shares here on Roku.
Kind of like this name right here, the CRK name by Jay. If it really was added to the small cap 600, I don't know how much of a top that makes, but it does look good there. That CRK, it's a $12 stock there off the VWAP, 1225 area, maybe off the 1220s. Doesn't look too bad. Pre-market action was really wicked, but it got up to a high of 1295. So it does have potential for the reward here. Doesn't look too bad there, Jay. I kind of like it, but don't want to get into too many plays right now. It actually looks interesting, though, off the 1220s. If I did go after this, I'd just go out there at small and look for a big move through 1245 back to 1250s. There was some resistance up here in the 50s, 57. We'll look to see if that comes back.
Futures looking to break out of 40-50s.
All right, let's go back. Seeing the riot pullback, so still in this one, still watching it, still letting it work. Remember, 610, our entry here. Willing to add towards that entry and look for it to see to get it back up there. Bolin, not really the stock that we'll probably be looking at today, Micah.
Spy.
Oh, you hate the Cowboys. Hey, but Cowboys make money. Jerry Jones is a major holder of CRK. I have one of those Community questions. I know that you guys have been coming in with some of them. I have one of those, but I'm going to save it for a little bit longer. I'm going to wait till we get through at least like 10, 15. But
Like my cataracts one?
Yeah, like a
Oh,
question
okay.
like that, right? Where we go to the
The
chat.
random shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
I like it.
it's a fun one.
Carvana
All
still
right,
waiting
back
on my
to my
$10
entry there on
fill.
Riot.
Looks like I got filled on my Roku. Now we just manage the risk.
Got the ad there, team. So now I'm going to focus in. One more ad right here. Want to recover VWAP, not break the 608.
Roku, we got filled at 56.90s.
Roku. I think still going. Man, squeezing out there. Just squeezing people.
Baby, come on, baby. Just make one big push to the upside. Come on.
In that test on Riot.
Fuck. All right, looks
Needs
like I
to
also
recover.
went ahead and got filled on Carvana. So this could be a... I hate being in multiple trades at once, but whatever.
Big pull on Sober here.
Sober. What you got there? Oh, that's UPS.
I'm just going through the list here,
No
calling out
stress.
what I see.
Yeah. Sober is an interesting one.
Well, no, I
Right.
mean it's pulling back here. Sorry, Mitch. I'll try not to mention stuff unless I have the chart
good.
up here. Sober.
You're good. I was just more bringing it up.
Yeah, no, Sober ran into resistance, tried to pop it, immediately got knifed back. So like this is one of the things that we're talking about here about being quick on some of these. You want to make sure that they don't actually find resistance at these points, rather that they break them and hold them. Sober not necessarily a long right here unless it can clear out 145.
Looking to see if Riot's going to recover here. It's down to 604, 603. It's testing right now. Just want to see if it can get back. Put a wick on the 3.
I'll be right back.
I want to look for some other trades out there. This Riot looks like it might just stop me out here. Needs to come back now. Holding it to the penny.
AI doing a nice job holding this move up here. Let me switch over to your Riot.
Just need to see it get right back, team. I want to cut through that last 3-minute candle.
Interesting, not really mirroring the price of Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin's still holding its level.
Yeah, that's what keeps me in it a little bit. Let's look at the 3 charts. Let's put a couple of them up.
Mara doing the same thing here, pulling back.
Yeah,
Got to
that's
be
what I kinda
careful
wanted
with
to
some
see.
of these, right? They're definitely related, but not a direct correlation. You can still have some divergence like this.
It's just testing here. What it at least helps me is my position's so small, I can hold it 2 to 6. Definitely pushing on the limit. Hands literally on the trigger.
Crow with a nice piece of advice here, saying, I studied absolutely everything and I learned from everyone. So the one thing I will say here is that you should never really stop learning in this business, at least not in my opinion. This is a lifelong learning business. The market changes back and forth. So having this attitude that Crow is talking about here is going to be paramount for your long-term development and, more importantly, your long-term sustained success. The learning from everyone part is the part that really resonates with me. I'll talk to anybody, especially if they have more experience than I do with the market, because there's always something to learn from somebody else, especially if there's someone that's more experienced than you. So I do this on a regular basis. This is a lot of what the happy hour is. It's a lot of people with different experiences and different backgrounds sharing their expertise, and it's incredibly beneficial to learn from that group. So I second what Crow is saying here. I think this is really good advice.
I agree. And it's not always the strengths too.
I'll learn from I learn the most from people that are good at what I'm not good at. So like when I talk to somebody that's a really proficient short seller, I will often learn things to look for, whether it be a chart or a fundamental or something of that nature. So what do you think with the Fed tomorrow, Mitch? You think we get a surprise, or you think it's the 25 that everyone's kind of expecting?
I think we get to 25. I don't
Me
think
too.
that's going to change. I'm out there, right? Just cut down that 1 penny there. Probably wick me out there, but when it went hunting there, I'm not going to hold on to that. Just going to cut it, can get back in it. I could see a recovery back through the VWAP 615, but not going to stick around for that. Looked good. Looks good even on the hourly chart. I might be cutting it early on the hourly chart, but hey, not going to fight it there. Just going to get out and look for another trade. We'll see what happens.
Carvalho, I did go ahead and get stopped out.
SPY coming back down didn't help, right?
It's not going to help my Roku trade, that's for sure.
ATER curling and going back towards its high here. Didn't quite make it to its VWAP.
What's the Fed?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, Jay. I mean, to me, like, I'd almost like to see 50 just to see what happens, but maybe I shouldn't say that too loud. 25 is what I'm looking for too.
Tesla crack right back down. Looking to see if GM turns to the red today. That'll give us a good sign too, because GM had good earnings, really good guidance. If that turns red today, it's going to be a good sign to catch.
Sober here. So Sober did a pretty good job coming back to its VWAP. Looks like it tried to bounce. Let's see if we can actually get going here. With this being such a low price stock, I think that I'd be all right waiting for it to get a little bit closer to 145. Actually may front run that a little bit at 143. But I definitely wouldn't want to hold this much past its VWAP. So VWAP here, 136. I suppose if you got there at 136, wait for this 145 test. Looks like it's trying here. Can't make up its mind. Got a little bit of a bid under it here on the level 2 on Sober. A little bit of size there at 141 that they just took out. Actually looks good here on Sober. See if we can get a pop above 145. That might be your trade. Yep, they brought that bid in. I try a little right here. I'm gonna make the stop 137. I'm gonna be real tight on this stop. I want it to push above 145 right here. If it doesn't, I'll wait for another setup. I'm going to keep putting in a little bit more size there, 144, 145. So we'll see if this ends up working.
LAC, man. I'm kind of annoyed that I sold that swing trade on that day where we had the weird open, because I was like wigged out.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And now it's freaking up to 24. That would have been a monster. With their news today with GM, that would have been like a 13, 14, 15% winner. Not a bad one there.
Roku here. I'm going to go ahead and take these gains. And am I going to
Roku?
worry about it?
Walking the bid up here on Sober. Come on, let's pop above here.
Come on, baby. Come on.
Yeah, right. Starting to come back there. It looks like it reversed right around that 6. Could have gave it a little bit more, but it is what it is. Really small cut today.
I'm going to set my stop loss at break even on Roku and hope that we can get these limits taken out.
Shop having a good day there. Just did another VWAP bounce. We'll look to see if it comes back up. Tesla VWAP bouncing. We'll see if it goes back to 171. SPY trying to push. GM trying to bounce off the VWAP. GM looked actually interesting there in 39s.
How's AI doing?
I think it's at 1905s. Yeah,
Yeah,
1905.
so came back to its VWAP, but nothing crazy yet.
Oh, it's a VWAP opportunity at least.
I'll flip around after this sober trade resolves one way or another.
Come on, Roku, you.
Battling with that
So
Roku.
dumb, bro.
Come on, UNG. Almost came back to VWAP there.
Sober with a pull here. Going to close this and wait for another setup on sober. So out 3-cent loss. 0 for 1 today. Crow, this might still go, but I'm just going to keep myself protected because I'm going to flip around for different stocks here. We'll keep an eye on sober.
I don't want to chase UNG. I'm trying my best not to chase right now. Especially
I'll be honest, Mitch. I kind of felt like I chased the bounce off the VWAP there on sober, which is a little bit disappointing.
It happens to me.
Yep.
All the time, man. I know how it feels.
MSGM looking like this is trying to curl off the bottom. So it looks like it did actually find a bottom here around 7. Interestingly, let's see if we can actually push back up towards that VWAP. VWAP currently at 758. So some pretty good movement here. Currently at 721 on MSGM.
All right, taking a little bit of GM here off the 81. So it's going to be a quick trade if it does go to the risk side. But I'd rather keep it tight right now and look to see if the market comes back up. But this is kind of like that VWAP trade where it came to VWAP, bounced up, came back down, tested a support. Want to see it get back up through 39, back up to 39.25s. We'll see if it gets back up there, GM, and we'll see if the market can come up here. That's another thing that could happen that could help. You saw it did a wick to the upside, though. Not what we want to see. If GM goes red, that's where we got to be a little bit careful. That's why I'm trying to get it back to up there through the highs. We'll see if it gets up there. SPY is, though, coming down fast to the 487s. There's been support around here. Let's see if it keeps holding. Let's put Tesla in the middle. It's another one to watch, right? Bounced off VWAP, staying strong.
I'm going to look to go short the ES, or the MES, rather. Just waiting to see what it's going to do around 40.40 here. By the way, I need you to intro me to Beginner Trader.
Yes. I actually talked to him about it. I don't think I actually sent him the email to reach out to you, but I did talk to him about it. I had a conversation with him on the weekend.
Bet money.
Gotcha, dude.
All right, I'm short here. Got an awful fill, but I'm in. Short ES, just one contract, or MES.
Oh, you going on the futures? You going in the
yeah,
future?
I've got it here on Thinkorswim.
To the future! No worries. You're good, bro. You can just put the SPY. It's pretty much
yeah.
same
Here,
thing,
I don't think this is delayed. So,
Florida cut the Tesla trade at the gates. 164 exit. Not a bad trade there for me. There's a SPY coming back up, just like it usually is, just playing games, right? Well, now it's starting to get back up above the VWAP.
AI starting to bounce here a little bit.
See if we can start holding VWAP on GM. Come on, SPY. Going up today or what? 3907 is now showing up for GM. Clicked up there to 3910.
Gonna see if I can short Netflix if it cracks this 350.
Lulu down on Nike news. Thank you, Easy.
Lulu's still holding that 300 handle.
Nike. What did Nike do today?
And actually, so this is funny. Let me bring a Mitch. Were you in the middle? Were you about to go over?
No,
something?
You're good, man.
Okay.
I'm just keep watching.
The last time we talked about Lulu, we said that this is likely going to be a fairly decent swing trade when it breaks out of this triangle that you see, the blue line and the white line. And it continues to run into this compression zone. So we're coming to a point here where this is going to have to make its move. I don't have any inclination on where it goes. I guess if I had to pick one or the other, I would probably pick the upside, being a long bias trader and seeing how strong Lululemon has been over the year or over the years. But this is pretty cool because we drew this a while ago, namely for this bounce, this swing trade long here. But this coming into a compression zone, there's going to be another setup here coming up next couple of days.
Half out on GM.
Sure.
Half out there on GM. That just puts us right back. That half out puts us right back to break even from that riot trade loss, right? And so now all the shares can get me into the profits. That's what I try to do sometimes is just now I'm back at least break even. I can look for this trade to make me into the green on the day, especially if it comes up towards 39.67. Give it that chance to run now. The SPY would need to go through the high. I want to see the SPY get through, like, let's say 402.50s on a nice push. That would be what you're looking for. And then you can look for the nice push up there on Tesla. We'll look to see if we get that. Apple also probably look for a nice little bounce back up there towards the 143.75s. Continuation to upside. We'll see if we get it. And then if you're seeing the cards start ripping, be careful because Lucid can move at any point also. I think this is one you have to stay really tight on, but it's already pulled back, and now it's starting to get forgotten as it keeps dipping. I feel like it could have another rip. That's why I'm not shorting it, team, because I do think it could get a rip at any moment. That's why I'm not short Tesla right now, too. Thoughts on Netflix? I think we've talked about that multiple times, right?
Yeah, you've also got MSGM breaking the 850s, which is a pre-market high, so that's moving to the upside. Taking a look at Netflix, a 350 has been support for some time. As you can see, I got an alert there to go short if we go ahead and break it. But you've also got the ES, which I did go and get stopped out of, looking to break the 3050. Looking to break the 4050s to the upside here. Knocked out it a few times, once, twice, 3, 4. Looking to break out. Surprised that Roku, as the SPY bounces back, Roku has not recovered. That's a bit weird to me.
Nice level to watch on that MSGM was just pre-market around the 10 a.m. You got a lowering of 685. You got this 5 a.m. spike to 703. So that $7 area seemed really nice for risk and reward today.
I feel like I'm long something. I don't remember what it was. Oh, there it is. I'm long XOM at 114.55. Stop loss 113.39s. Looking to take gains around 115s. The only issue is going to be if this 115 area ends up being resistance and screws me, but we shall see.
So MSGM, that was the play there, right? So we traded beneath the VWAP, reclaimed it on expanding volume, and we got a great trade here. So unfortunate that I took Sober instead of this one, because this one ended up being the correct one to trade. We take a look at Sober, though. Remember, folks, your first stop is your best stop. This continues to break down. I'm much happier that I took a 3-cent loss instead of what would be almost a 20-cent loss at this point. So good stuff there. Yep. And see, that's exactly what I mean, Crow. sometimes they're going to work, sometimes they're not. I picked the wrong one, but you know what? My risk management practices have me safe and not crying right now, right? No big deal. At this point, I'm actually a little bit more disappointed that I missed that GM, but not necessarily worried about taking a small L there.
Tesla looking good. SPY starting to push 402.30s. Let's see if we get the 402.50s.
Will, good to see you again, my man. Welcome back. Feel like I haven't seen you in a bit.
Foxel did a pullback fast to the VWAP. Now coming back for that 14 break. We'll see if that gets through that. And what's the tech stock? There was NXPI that got hit this on the after hours. Has already climbed all the worrying. That shows us a lot, right, team? We need to look for this. Where stocks get hit on earnings, climb back all the worries. Look at this. Holding strong, that NXPI now. That can give you some lift in a stock like NVIDIA. So look for maybe NVIDIA now to start coming back. Remember, I've talked about how there's this kind of neckline that everyone's looking at around the 193s. We get back above 193 today. You won't be looking too bad on NVIDIA. I can start seeing it just trying to hold this VWAP. Let's see if the SPY takes out the 402.50s. AMD reports tonight, right? Well, it's back above VWAP. Doesn't look too bad here. It's starting to push, trying to get back through 73.31s. And the big level above it through the 73.50 area, like right above it, 73.60. PFE just went green. That's an important one also to mention. Got hit so hard in the pre-market, coming right back. Good catch, Jay.
AI bouncing to the upside again. Didn't fill us at 1804, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that trade.
Micron trying to come back also. This one's actually, I like this one. Because it hasn't come back, and this got hit with like Samsung mentions. This could just climb back. Semis do look strong. We'll see if that gets up there. NVIDIA right back below the VWAP. It's only too bad to risk off the 191.50s. I like it.
Come on, SPY. What are you going to do?
Looking for a pullback right now on NVIDIA to try to get this. Try to get in here. $194s, 192 pullback. Starting to go already.
What are we gonna do?
What are we going to do? RSI on
That is the
BZFD 1 hour
question.
chart. Okay. BZFD. I know that one.
That's BuzzFeed.
Yeah, let's see the 1 hour chart. 250 area looks interesting. 257. I don't know why. I have it already drawn.
I mean, this chart looks terrible to me. I'm sorry. I know you're trying to make this look good on the hourly, but this looks like this wants lower.
It has to hold between the 50 and the 61.8 retracement. So somewhere around here, I'd look for the turnaround. I wouldn't necessarily try to catch the falling knife. I'd be looking for turnarounds, probably somewhere in between this 275 to 240 range. So that's the kind of the fibs trying to come into play on the recent move. We'll look to see if it holds there. A breakdown between 230s, and you'll probably just get the full retracement of 124. NVIDIA now holding. It did come back, but just a 192.15. I did like the trade there. I just wanted 192. A little picky there. Didn't get my entry there on NVIDIA. Starting to pop.
I'm going to go ahead and see if I can take a long here. Got 100 shares of SPY at 402.22. Stop loss 401.1. Looking to take gains at 403.22. We'll see which way it crumbles.
Right? That's the only thing you can do.
All right, now I'm curious. What was your community question?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So my community question of the day. Some might not like it, some might. Well, I'll tell you right now, team. When I was growing up, like many, I think many didn't have this opportunity. Maybe Zunaid was out of this camp, but I don't know. We'll find out, right? When I was growing up, I always, saw kids, that had, really nice shoes, really nice clothes, right? I always wanted to, rock some really nice shoes, right? I didn't have bad shoes. I had like AN1s or something like that, but I couldn't get Jordans, like let's say when I was young, right? Jordans weren't really, and Zunaid leaves. I can't have a community question without my guys here. I'm going to hold it. I'm putting them in the background, but I'm going to hold the team. Try to do a big story, and then they leave me. You see this? All right, here's GM back to VWAP. This is going to be important, team. I'm going to focus in here. What I want to do here is figure out if we're going to keep going up on the SPY. Oh, there's NVIDIA. Nice push on NVIDIA. I like this SPY move here, so I'm trying to add here on GM. I have an order out there on the bid.
195, interesting spot there on NVIDIA if it can take it out, by the way.
Yeah, I can't. I missed my entry by 15 cents there, Ryan.
Man.
All right, my bad. I got a call. I got to take care of something. But tell me your community question. My apologies. It was bad timing.
No stress. All right. So this is what happened. So when I was young, guys, like most, I couldn't buy all the nice shoes that I wanted, right? So as I gotten older, I've bought some Jordans now, and this is shoes that when I was younger, let's just be honest, I couldn't afford them. And then now that I buy them, I start rocking them, but then I realize, man, these shoes hurt my feet like hell. I have now like two nice pairs of Jordans, and man, they destroy my feet, man. I don't know about you guys. If you guys rock Jordans out there, I'd like to know if they destroy your feet also.
So
I can't rock them anymore. It's to that
I'll
point.
say this, Mitch. I'm not going to go so far as to say destroy my feet because I've had other shoes that actually do that. A couple of things I'll say. First of all, Nike traditionally makes a shoe that runs a little small. So if you have a regular sized or even a slightly bigger foot, and when I mean bigger, I mean on the width, right? If you have a slightly wider foot or just kind of a normal foot, Nikes will often feel a little bit tight. This is one of the reasons why I don't actually like Nike shoes to begin with. However, Jordan stuff, that's another story because like you, I loved Jordans as a kid. I also will say that as time went on, they really started to get more and more boot-like, if you will. They almost feel like boots in some cases. When I first started buying Jordans, and I'll date myself here, early mid-90s when Jordan was still playing, those shoes seemed to fit my foot real well. I was a kid, I was young, but as I got older, as I grew, and as Jordans changed, they felt less and less comfortable. I haven't bought a pair of Jordans in forever.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I with the esports stuff, sometimes they give us shoes, but besides that, I'm a Nike guy, running shoes, that's all I wear. Really.
Yeah. And it's crazy because I have other Nike basketball shoes. Like I have the Kyries right now, and I use them for the gym, and those don't do anything. Those feel like perfect basketball shoes. And I've used a lot of basketball shoes. Normally, like my favorite shoe is the Hyper Dunk. I don't know if anybody knows that shoe, but that's my favorite Nike shoe. So I don't know, man. I can't rock them. I'm at the point where I'm gonna be like having to wear like the little soles you put in them. I'm gonna have to rock some Dr. Scholl's or whatever.
I'll say this: when I switched to New Balance, my feet were so much happier. Nike is a thing of the past for me. Ron saying when I was young, they hadn't invented them yet. Well, Michael Jordan hadn't had his career. He hadn't asserted himself as the best player in the history of the game yet. Awesome. So That's what.
All right.
All right.
I gotta
At
head
least
out.
I'm not the only one.
Apologies. I got to take care of something here. But my trading is all going to be based on if the SPY decides to go side or not. Other than that, I'm pretty much break even. We made money on CNTX. We made money on, forgot what else it was. But Roku's the one that went ahead and gave us a break even trade. So we'll see what the SPY does. But I got to head out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Take
Dude.
care of
Have a
yourself,
good one.
Zunaid. Good luck clearing up
Yeah.
whatever you need to clear up.
See ya.
All right. We'll see if the SPY can keep moving. It did do that move to 402.50s, and what did it do? Turns right back around, team. So we'll look to see if that can keep moving here. Don't want to even see it go to 401.50s here. Want to see it to hold this kind of 9 EMA and just get right back up there. We'll look to see if that can continue running. NVIDIA, keep going. I like that trade. I'm not going to go in and looking at the other ones. This one looked like the best one for me off the VWAP. AMD also through 73.50s here. Like it keeps going through that. That's going to look good here. And then Soxel, right? You could just be Soxel on that VWAP pullback. Look how this came back there to the 1370 area, right back up to 14. We'll see what happens here. GM for me, I stopped my entry moved up there towards 38.97 with a 39.07 add. So now we're just averaging towards 39 and holding towards 39. Like that would still keep me 3 cents in the green. And now I can just look for the breakout there on GM. We'll look to see if we get that breakout. And this is the throwback look, right? I call this this is what they call the throwback look. When you get a stock that wants to come back above, look for those throwbacks, opportunities to add. As I sold some up here, I added the shares back, and now I'm looking for that kind of expansion right back up, right? We'll see if we get that. We never know, but that's my trade. We'll see what happens, team.
All right, Jay, I'm going to get to your comment now. I felt like Mitch was trying to intentionally draw that out, so I didn't get to it. But here we are. Jay is saying, buy some Crocs for comfort. Jay, have you closed that Crocs position yet, or are you just talking your book, my man? I'm just kidding, of course. That was a monster trade for you. I don't think I would ever pay money, or my own money anyway, for Crocs.
I mean, just cut some rubbers out of your old tires, you know.
Don't try to make it worse, Mitch. I'm not trying to start no fights. Real quickly, got to agree with Sydney here, though. Sydney and I usually banter back and forth, but I'm in 100% agreement with her here. New Balance is the best, and the insoles are important to customize foot support. You can get a number of different insoles depending on the store you go for or store you go to. Really makes this kind of a customized, comfortable experience. I knew it. No, Jay Rice still has it, looking for 140 on Crocs, trying to get us to help him by buying more products. Absolutely love it, Jay. Shift Run saying AI running to 20 without me. I'll be honest, this stock definitely went further than I thought. I would have expected
a pretty
pullback,
VWAP move.
But look at this.
Oh, pretty VWAP move.
Look at this.
Pretty.
Shame on me. So now, given everything that's happened in retrospect, I really did a poor job today. I picked the stock for one of the trades that I was taking and looked to be the wrong one. There were a couple of other obvious moves here. My bias stopped me here on AI. When we talked about it right around here, it really took the next leg up, and now it's taken even another leg up since then. So I had sold this thing. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I did not believe in this thing after that first move up, and boy, oh boy, it's proven me wrong here today.
Well, I'm drawing it out, team. I think that's what it's always important to do, right? I try to draw it out all the time for myself on the rule of three sometimes. I don't even know if this one worked, but I'll draw it out. And then you guys tell me that the rule of three works or doesn't work. You know what I mean? At some point, I want you guys to tell me what you guys think of the rule of three. If you guys see it, you know what I mean? This is the hard thing. Look at this, team. So AI gets that little spike, right? 1 minute. Get an up move. You get a down move. You get an up move. That's resistance 2. Support 2. Resistance 3. We're looking for that support 3. And then from that level, we want to start seeing the stock really start going into more of a drive mode, right? Well, right here, you get that test. And then you get this kind of like wick that it tried to break down here, 1881s. and then it starts coming right back up. When it comes back up, look how it starts holding the VWAP. That's what we also want to be looking for. When you clear back to the VWAP, start looking for that to hold as you made the third support. Then you can draw your line there. If you wanted, you could hold to the low on that, or you could look to the left and see prior resistance as your next layer of support, which is around the 1864. So maybe that's your risk area. And then you're looking for the move back up. It needs to make sense, right? So even if you got in there at 19, you're risking down to 78. That's about 23 cents. Risking down to 64, that's about 38 cents. We're talking about 2% max risk there. We want to see at least what on the upside? Well, looks like this one went to 6.4% on the upside. That's not too bad, even if you risk that 2%. That's still a 3% move there and higher. But even if you just played it to the high of the day, because a lot of the times I'm going to try to sell some near this high of the day around this 1966 area, right? And it did go right to that level. And then you could have been selling into that 1966 or looking for the expansion above. That's not a bad looking play. Rule of 3 playing in here on AI. And you guys look for it. It happens all the time, especially on the shorter time frames where you can really see that up and down action. Draw it out for yourself. Look for that bottoming action. While a lot of people are, what I've seen is looking for the breakout here on this 1940 because it's a third resistance. I could look for that pullback. They get washed out while some go buying. All right, what are you seeing out there, Ryan?
Sorry, I was doing something for work here.
No worries. Not a worry.
I'll flip back over to it.
No, I'll take a control. I got it. I was just going to you since I just talked a lot on the AI move. All right, let's get back here.
I'm still a little pissed I missed that AI move, honestly.
Hey, it happens, man.
MSGM, by the way, next leg up. Huge move here on MSGM. So this one also, man, just absolutely monster. And it's halted. Nice shout there, Mike. You said Carvana setting up. Let's see if we can find that out before it actually rolls. I see what you're saying. So you're looking for this to actually kind of go back to VWAP and maybe pop again. We'll see if we end up getting that. Got to clear 10 out first.
Spike holding here towards the upside. You saw AMD take a nice little lift. Tesla now back to 170. We talked about that VWAP bounce multiple times. You guys see, I can go short and long Tesla. It's made sense to me to go long on Tesla today off those VWAP. So if you're nailing that nice little pattern, power to you, team. I can't blame you. It's a nice little pattern there on Tesla. We'll look to see if NVIDIA can keep going. That went back through the high there. So nice little move there around where we're looking the 192s up back towards the high of the day. Not a bad little play there. SPY went up there through that 402.50s, now starting to hold the push. SPY's looking good on the day at least. We'll see if that can keep holding, right? Stocks that gotten beaten down, look for them to keep coming back. Look for even if Micron can get back up there. Definitely NXPI already there. If anything, now starting to work its way to the green into yesterday's price action. That shows us also a reversal there. LAC trying, says Quantum. LAC is trying, went down big towards support, now starting to come back. Look for maybe some pullback action on that one. Maybe the 15-minute, it starts looking at like a longer term kind of pattern here. We'll see if it pulls back or not. But LAC has been strong on the day. I wanted to take a look at PLL in that case. I like this one on the swing from the kind of 64 level. You'd have to look for some pullback maybe to get a better entry now. But the thing that I didn't go after this one earlier is the spread. The spread on this one when it was down here in the 64.30s was about 30 cents. It's tough to get a 30-cent spread just because there's not much action. But PLL looks really nice on that daily pullback off the throwback look. All right, looking around, what else is making moves? Let's go to the sectors and the industries. Definitely real estate leading the day. Consumer cyclical behind that. High beta names. Basic materials having a good day there. Agricultural inputs. Let's look at the MOS having a decent day there. Daily candles start making its way back. Doesn't look too bad. What's the best stock here right now? SMG. Scott's Miracle Grow having a hell of a good day, starting to make its way back after it looks like it bottomed around the $50, a little bit lower than that, and starting to climb. I don't know about Scott's Miracle Grow, but it is starting to come back.
AI took out that 20 handle. This still looks really strong. Let's see where we are on a daily chart here on AI.
Yeah, I think you're starting to come back here towards some different highs. These were some lows that I was looking to see if they would act as resistance. 1966 taken out there. I mean, you could make your way back towards even 2150s back here.
2380. This seems to be the spot for me, right? So we're into this sideways area that we've traded in before. Would love to hold above 20. We'll see if we can do that for any type of prolonged period of time. But really, the next level here for me is going to be can we break 2380? If we can break that to the upside, we'll be in pretty good shape here for a potential long. As far as an actual swing trade, decent setup here, right? If we can actually kind of get a little bit of sideways trading, maybe even a back test of this $18 level, maybe we can actually do a swing long and then take partial profit here at a 23 or 2480 test. So this, I'd actually, if for a swing here, I wouldn't necessarily buy it today. We're up 25% today. I'd actually wait for a little bit more of a pullback, get a better entry here. But this definitely looking strong, seems to be a part of the theme that is really going right now. So AI, this looking good here.
Motor sports, baby.
Is it open again?
Oh, it's ripping.
Yes, it is. Going higher here.
1380s now, almost 14 on the day. Look at this big push, team. Where does it stop? Ooh, there's a level to the left for us to look at, 1443. We've gotten up to 1390s. That's definitely the level that I'd be looking at. You almost got there to the 1390s. Let's see if we get through that 14. There's 14. There's 1416. Turns around at the 1418. Also 20 points, 20 cent spread at some points. Just want to point that out for you traders out there to kind of catch that. That's important. There's a move to 30s, now to 44s. You're looking at those daily highs to the left now.
This is wild.
Boom. Right through it to 15 now. 16. Ooh, what a rip, team. Catching it here live.
Yo, MD with an amazing call here. 1643. He called that this was, let's get a timestamp on here real quick. 9:36. This is, so 10:36. So 3 minutes ago, MD giving you the 1643 spot. We went to 1636. Now we're pulling back here. Be careful. We're knifing a little bit here, but really clutch spot here. MD, you got that off of the 200 day on the daily, right? 200 EMA on the daily. Okay, I have the SMAs loaded on my chart. 200 EMA on the daily. Put you right there. Great shout there. Great shout, MD. That worked out perfectly. Walter also giving us a great warning here. This is actually, we've been talking about this with a lot of the stocks that have been halting recently. Caution with that, right? The halt's up, they must halt down. Now, I don't actually know if that's a fundamental rule like it is, in nature. What goes up must come down. But definitely be careful. We've talked about after a couple of these halts, 3 seems to be the magic number. There's some halts to the downside. This doesn't even need to. This is huge $2 knife in a 1 minute candle without a halt. So just be careful when the things get spread this much. They can be wild.
That was an interesting one, especially.
Congrats if you caught some of that. Great stuff there, team. Again, we're doing it.
Pulling back now, just to kind of clearly state that. Just be careful out there, team. Always, and when you play these, understand the amount that it can really move, right? Like one candle there on a minute is about 24%. 24% move. That's a big move. Cat recovering nicely. Good catch, Sharon. I like that catch. An important one to catch also. Starting to recover. Cat, will it reject the VWAP here and come back down, or will it come back up? Now, the only thing that I'd be worried about is the value trade kind of dying out, because it seems like traders are just focusing on growth right now. or will the value trade just come back? I'm looking at a couple of these. Pakar also around the VWAP. We'll look to see if this pulls back. This has started to pull back. I think it can get to like around 107.50s where it can meet up with the 9 EMA. We'll see what happens on that cat. Cat got hit hard on earnings. I'll throw up their earnings here down the bottom just so you guys, if you guys missed their earnings, you guys can see the line. They missed and beat on sales, to put that in perspective. The cat's out the hat. They put it back in it today. See if it stays in it, comes back out. Motorsports games now starting to slow down up here, but finding some buyers on the pullbacks. We'll see what happens.
And this is where you can kind of wait it out, right? You can actually wait for a good setup here as opposed to just trying to take it. Don't feel like you missed it and taking it too early. We're up 460% here, so just keep it all in perspective.
Yeah. And leading stock in the stock market right now in the last 15 minutes, up 55%. Last 15 minutes. SBCE active. Wow, I haven't seen that one active in a while. Cranky. Take a look. The Virgin. Not really, moving, but it needs more volume. Look at the daily volume. But I like that it's sleepy. Like, so you have levels here to at least go off of, right? If you're just using technical levels, right? So you'd want it to come back up through this, back up ripping through 570s. At least you know your outs, but very low volume on that one. We go through some other ones here. I don't know these, so just a full disclosure, I don't know what's going on with these, but I don't know if this one just halted. EDBL, Edible Gardens.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one either. I think Carmen was bringing that up earlier.
EH, look at this thing. Aerospace stock just ripping. Don't know what the hell these are. Just full disclosure, I'm just bringing them out for you guys to take a look at what's moving on my radar. Stitch Fix, team. The Stitch Fix. Oh, look at that little pattern here. That was pretty on the 5-minute. Look at that. Stitch Fix with a nice little move.
More new highs on AI. Just real strong move here.
Ooh, AI 2040s. Bunched up there. 20 is acting like support. Let's see the 1 minute. Did it do the 9 EMA pullback? Ooh, look how that light blue line look. Look how it just pulls right to it. For momentum plays, I like the 9 EMA pullback strategy.
Me too. 9 EMA is the indicator I use for gap and go, right? So normally a gap and go strategy was very, very effective in a strong market. And I guess, we're getting that over the past couple of days. 9 EMA, that seems to be the entry, right? Enter when it pulls back to the 9 EMA. And then if it runs away from it, 9 EMA also your exit trigger if it comes back down to it. That's the cool thing about using those EMAs is that they react to the price pretty well. And you can use them as both entry and exit. On the same study.
Interesting indeed, right? We'll see what happens. Still battling in that GM team. You guys see it on the right-hand side. I've just kept it. Just been battling it. It hasn't wanted to really go up, but 39s can still stop me out break even. What I like about this trade is that I could either just run to the tiniest bit of profit or just look for the trade to either work or break even on the rest. If it's break even, it's break even day, and I'm okay with that. Give it my chance, probability. We'll see if it gets in my favor or not. SPY overall, where we're at, 402.93s, almost 403s. So that stayed strong. NVIDIA, ooh, nice little pullback. Didn't even come back to that VWAP. Definitely missed this 192 entry. We went back to 192.15, a little hesitant there by 15 cents. Would have also been a really nice win. Hope somebody was able to nail that NVIDIA trade.
Carmen with a little bit more context on that Edible Gardens here. Thanks, Carmen. Edible Gardens was #1 on the Fintel short list today. I don't even think what is that Fintel short list? Actually, we could look up the short interest here in Pro. Why don't we do that?
Edible Gardens, team. I can imagine. Look at this thing. Holy crap. Yeah, that's gonna have some high short interest.
It doesn't,
Look at the
though.
daily chart.
Well, okay, so it doesn't yet. As of January 12th, we're looking at just 3% of the float shorted. Let me get you these stats here real quick.
This matters too. Remember, there's a recent split.
What day was that?
The 30th. The 26th, actually.
Of January?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
MSGM. Oh my God, this thing's ripping. Sorry, brother. Let me just peek at it so I can show people. Up to 1770, 1769 on that.
Yeah, this is liable to get halted again.
Holy moly. That was a rip candle. It was like less than a second. I saw it go from 15 to like 17.
It's going to halt here if it holds.
It's halted. I could see it there. Just it's
No,
not
there's
trading
still
anymore.
prints. It's not halted
Still
yet.
printed?
It's got to hold here, but it looks like it will be halted.
Yeah, there.
There's the halt. Yep.
I could see it. You could see some light volume going through there, right? It was like maybe like a couple shares.
Yeah. So real quick, let me just finish the really good point that you brought up about the stock split. So first of all, the short interest that's in pro, none of this is going to be estimated. This is the officially reported short interest. So while the numbers are official, the downside there is that you don't get updates maybe as frequently as you want. And in this case here with Edible, we've actually had a 1-for-30 reverse stock split since this short interest is updated. I'd be really curious to know what this is after we get the update. Now, with that being said, we've seen a lot of stocks that do reverse stock splits end up running like crazy after the split. And it looks like that's what Edible's doing here. So now I'm not necessarily willing to go out on a limb and say that this is a short squeeze, but definitely those reverse splits post-split have been making moves, and this is no different.
This one might be. Remember, I talked about it earlier today. Maybe they start coming back for Lucid. Well, it looks like they're at least coming after a little bit here from 1170 to 1208. Recent spike here, and I'm seeing what? Look at the volume change. That's the volume change in the recent minutes here. So starting to get you back that opening volume in Lucid, starting to see the spike there. So looks like we might be getting into some pushing here in Lucid. I'm actually going to be looking for pullbacks here to take a shot. I don't mind taking a shot in it, but it just keeps hitting up on the offer. I'm looking for some kind of bid pullback. We'll look to see if we get it or not, but just wanted to get it quick for you guys before it just completely takes off. We'll see what happens. Like always, you guys make your own trade assessment. I'm not in this right now. We'll see what happens. Tesla taking the stairs up. That could also help, right? There you go. Tesla to 172.
Tesla, nice move here, yeah.
Lucid starting to push. Glad I talked about it at least early on today. Again, I thought today could be another day because why? Because people stop trading it when it does action like this. They looked at it all day yesterday and they just saw fade. It wakes up today. The Lucid buyout rumors are true. I don't know. And that's the only thing that we can go off of. We don't have an exact answer. The only thing you can go off of is the rumor. Tesla move looks nice there. Look at that.
SPY move here. SPY pretty much right back to yesterday's open and continuing to move higher here. It's a nice little move here on SPY as well.
Ooh, there's a pullback for Lucid. I'm going to try to get in on this pullback towards 12. Come on. Maybe a little bit pullback towards 12.
DKNG. What do you think about DKNG coming up here for the Super Bowl? You think we get any movement around the actual Super Bowl itself? I'm not sure it moves around events like that anymore.
The problem there is that there's other things that are affecting the stock, right? And so you have other traders that are not going to care about that. It's a mixed bag for me, I think. Could see it like a small lift, but
I like the daily chart. It does look like it's finally found its bottom, and the next move might be another curl back towards that 30 handle.
Lucid not wanting to pull back. I'd have to chase team.
Hodl strategies here. I'm with you on this one. Honestly, I'm with you on this one. I believe the higher we go into tomorrow, the better chance of the rug pull are in for the Fed rate discussion. You know what? I'm with you on that. I if we trade up into that, I wouldn't be shocked to see the rug get pulled after they actually have that.
Out GM, break even on the rest there. Was able to get first profits. Doesn't look good there. Pulled back, stopped me out there. It's okay. Just didn't get the profits that I was looking for in GM. Looking at Lucid now. Still haven't popped back towards that 12. Got close to there. We went to 1203. Looking for that cut down here. All right, I might have to step up here. I want to see a little bit of a pullback to 12. Come on.
MSGM open here and going higher now.
All right, I'll put it up on one of mine.
19 handle on MSGM.
To the right here, team. All right, so how many halts we got now? What is that? 2? Is that 2 or 3? We halted up here at the 650s.
I believe that this is the second.
Okay, so we'd be going into the third. Oh,
yep.
Look at that thing take it off to 22.
Unreal move here. Hysterical, says Easy Mike. That's a good description there.
All right, looking at Lucid. All right, team. I'm going to take a little bit of a scoop here. I know I'm chasing and I can feel it. But the FOMO getting into me a little bit. 1207 entry there. 1 and 12 as the entry, but willing to add if we can get a little bit of a pullback. Let's look to see if we take off though.
Halted here at 2257 on MSGM.
All right, there's the third halt there. We'll see if we come back down from that third halt. We talk about this all the time, but 2258, what a freaking move on motorsports today. And this one, oh, she was pretty in the pre-market. The $7 area was a nice little support area you guys could have been looking at in the pre-market. $7, right? I mean, we're at 2250s. What a move. All right, we'll see if Looser gets the motor going, team. Of course, you guys don't have to take this style trade, right? Like always, you guys make your own investment decisions. Woo! What a move.
All right, MD, you gave us some pretty good spots on MSGM last time. Let's check it out again here. Giving us 3680 is your 65 EMA on the weekly. So that looks like the next spot that you're giving us here. Oh, by the way, this has been reverse split a few times if you take a look at that weekly. 3680. Gosh, that is a huge move from where we're at now.
Looks like there was a huge, well, I wouldn't say huge, but pretty big size call sweep.
Sydney, I think you mean MSGM, not MAGM, given on the action here today. This is a crazy move, but here's the description. Motorsport Games is a motorsport network company that combines engaging video games with esports competitions and content for racing fans and gamers around the globe. The company officially licensed video game developer and publisher for iconic motorsport racing series, including NASCAR and the British Touring Car Championship. Generates revenue from gaming and esports. Got to think that we're at a danger level here. MSGM up 758% here today. It's an absolute monster move.
Oh man, yeah, absolute monster. And GM is recovering there. If you guys are looking at GM, we'll see what happens on that one a little later. It did stop me out on that pullback through the VWAP, but still looks decent on the 15-minute if it can recover back towards 39.30s. Still in this lucid, looking to see if we're going to get a takeoff or not. The volume came in early, looking to see if the volume comes back in through 1225s. That's probably what could really take it. We'll see if it does go or not. Other ones that are moving right now, that Edible Garden, right? That one's been making moves as of late. EDBL. I halted the second time, Ryan. This one might be following MSGM.
These are the moves.
These are dangerous plays.
They sure are. I almost feel bad, right? Because these are so now our chat's been doing a great job killing them. Like you guys have done an amazing job trading these, but I just feel like we have to mention how dangerous this can be. The last thing any of us want is to, have any of you get wiped out by a really, really aggressive trade like this. Just be very, very, very careful when you're trading these.
What do you think about this one, Ryan? This is Vimeo, VMEO. The video player.
Yeah, this is Vimeo. The actual company. So I don't know much about like the Vimeo video hosting. We use different products. Chart here looks pretty decent though, right? Looks like it finally did bottom. This was nothing but a sell-off until September, where it's really started this bottoming formation. I'd like to see this move back up towards 5. But yeah, long term don't really have an angle on it for you, my man.
Yeah, I don't either, but it's interesting.
Walter can't even believe they still exist. Whoa, cold-blooded.
They're still around. They're still around, man. Still around. All right, not seeing this trade move here on the Lucid. It's been a little bit. Oh, there's the open on MSGM. We're back up higher, 27.63.
Oh
I got to go to the 1 minute here. Oh my God. Look at that. Look at that. 27.61.
Look, your guess is as good as mine. Your guess is as good as mine on how to trade this at this point. This is just.
Oh man, it just dropped $2, $3, $4.
That's not the first time it's done that today. Likely not the last either.
Right back down towards the last halt, team. Be careful.
Here's going to be your halt to the downside, right?
Here it comes. Yeah, it has a tendency of making. What do I say, Ryan? New high and then halt down, right? Usually that's what happens. You get that new high really quickly.
It didn't halt.
They didn't hold it. It didn't hold. No way.
No, dude. No,
this is insanity, team. I gotta clip this. No, you saw that, right, Ryan?
I saw it. It was at the level, but this is so on the way up.
No
remember
way.
How I said it's got to actually hold there for it to halt. The same thing is true on the downside, and it sure looked like it was going to, but they just took it higher again. Now we're coming back into that level, so let's see if it ends up halting this time. God, this is monster. If you're a newer trader, I know that this might be fun to watch. But I really think that the safest thing that you could do is not trade this. Any of my more experienced traders out there think that that's the right thing to say? Please let me hear it, because I really don't want people to get caught in something that's extended almost 900% right now and is just all over the place in a halt fest. Just what a monster.
All right, well, team, I'm still in this Lucid. I'm paying attention. I'm willing to add through 1220. But then it really needs to just take off. But I'm just letting you guys know this, just to put my plan out there. We'll see what happens here. I have a feeling there's going to be people looking for stocks to kind of rip into as they're seeing this thing just keep going higher. We'll look to see if it lasts.
Okay. So love to see. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. Don't trade. You're too late. I couldn't agree more. Don't trade it. Don't trade it. Just watch it. Definitely too late. You guys are too young to trade in 1999. I had some names go from 10, 20 in a day. All came crashing down. Jay, I want some of our newer traders to avoid that and not be flushed out, for lack of a better word there. Just unreal.
Yeah, the
Mike
puts.
saying I probably wrote up the sell tickets.
Yeah, the puts out there are traps. So they're dangerous too. The IV, I'm sure, is insane.
Yeah. Okay.
It's still laddering, team.
I gotta jump and get back to my daily activities. This was a wild, wild day.
Oh my
I wish I
God.
traded better, but we'll work on what I did wrong. Tomorrow is a new day. Be careful with all of these. MSGM, I'm not even going to make any predictions about where this is going to go this afternoon because your guess is as good as mine at this point. Just be careful out there. We'll be back to try and find you some setups tomorrow.
Yeah. It's tough trading in these names like that move. Here's Lucid, team. I got in there at 1207, willing to add here. 1220s and starting to move up. Let's see if we get the drive. Tesla's still moving. Yeah, Tesla's still pushing, team. 173, almost 50. Look to see if this starts to get in the lift. All right, team, like always, you guys can stick around right here on Benzinga for all the action that you guys want to see. Do you guys, I've had a question as of lately, right? Do you guys just want to be here all day? I need some feedback, team. You guys out there, there's like 470 of you guys right now. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to see this kind of trading action just go on all day long? Is that what you guys want here on Benzinga? We got to know. We got to know. Would you guys stick around all day? Let me know. I want to hear all the yeses. The yeses tell us more than you guys know. Remember, I do my best to bring the content that you guys want to see. But if you guys don't want to see any of that other analyst stuff or things like that, if you guys just want to see some live trading action all day, you guys let me know. I see a lot of yeses. Smash it up, team. I'm going to count these. I want to see how many names we can get in here. If it's like 70% of you guys saying yes right now, might just have to make it happen. Cross at 100. The postman's girlfriend says no. We say yes. Still might hear a no, though. But stay away from the pennies. Terry, I hear you, but we got to kind of change it up, right? MSGM, just to know, coming down really quickly here. I'm still in the Lucid here. Just got the ad there from the stop triggered at 1220. So now I'm up towards 1211, team. So average is right around here, 1211. We're going to look to see if it comes back up here. Want to hold towards the 12. Don't want to see 12 cracks. MSGM did pull back here towards the last halt. Now starting to come back. It is a wild ride here today, team. But love the feedback in the chat. I see you guys. Hey, we can still do some like different things throughout the day, but if you guys just want to stay in here all day, I'll make it happen, team. I see the reaction. Appreciate you guys out there. Mimosas are going to be maybe needed, Sydney. Especially when we have a good day. If we're going to go all day. Might have to pour me out some mimosas here live. Let's go. Let's go. All right, let's see what happens, team. Lucid pulling back a little bit. I got to keep my eye really closely on that. Don't want to go ahead and get caught in that. Right now, just keeping a watch on it. Tesla's starting to pull back. That's a little bit worrisome for me. But I just want to see if the volume is going to come in. We did get some volume to come in on that last push, but it didn't really take it higher than that 2 million shares that were traded on the 3 minute. So 2.4 million shares. Want to see that taken out. That's the high of 1225. If that could get taken out, then yeah. With higher volume, we could get moving on Lucid. There's a lot of shorts still in this. I'll tell you one thing though. A lot of people want out with that recent spike. We do get a spike. We got to be careful because there could be spikes down in this too. I'm just taking a little shot here just to have some fun and lucid. It's not a big shot, so just like always, we're going to go ahead and keep it limited. Put it this way, it'd be in my eyes less it depends. If I get hit out around the 12s, it'll be less of a loss than the riot trade. MSGM still going sideways here. It's trying to battle. You can see it trying to battle there. It's trying to get back up through the 25s. That's going to probably be the spot if it can get through that you can see a little bit of a spike. Last halt, it tried to hold there around the 22.55s. I don't do my best to cover these types of moves, but at the end of the day, I also covered stocks like Microsoft. I also cover stocks like Apple all the time. Like Apple keeps holding VWAP today. That shows me right there that we might be kind of rejecting 15-minute highs around the 143.50s. But if we can actually close above that on Apple, you can start getting the lift. Right now in the 15-minute, it looks like kind of like a bullish trend getting back up there. On the 1 hour, looks like it's still in a bearish trend and trying to bounce back through the resistance of 143.50s. We'll see what happens on a stock like Apple today, right? Can it come back up through that 143.50s, or will it just start rejecting? Always got to keep that in mind. MSGM still holding on that pullback there towards the 23 level. This is the 1 minute chart. We'll look to see if it takes back up through that 25, came right to the trend line and rejected that move. We'll see if it takes the next step up. Motorsports game. What a move today. Juice it up. Let's go. Pinkies on up. CC. Let's go. ALB took off with that LAC news. Lithium shortage expected by 2030, says Easy Mike. LAC, man. See if I should have had that one in the 21. So I'll look for pullback. PLL is another one that I like today. Man, look at that pullback opportunity on PLL off the 64s. I need to start getting into these swings. Forget the spread. I even saw someone talk about it earlier. Forget the spread. Buy small. Ladder in. That's what I should have been doing in PLL. Right here, the spread was like pretty much this wide. So it's difficult. What you got to do is maybe we got to ladder in there a little bit. Maybe put an order out in the middle of that. 64, 65s. Put an order out at 65. Put an order out at 64.50s. Right? Then maybe put it on the last low just to get it through there. Boom. Could have been going off the 64.23s as the last entry. Ladder it in, average in, look for the ride back up. Wouldn't have been a bad little swing trade attempt there in PLL. I know you guys like to look at different trades. Well, look, could have been swinging into these support levels, looking for the swing back up. LAC has good news on the industry, starts to get that drive. Look how you're seeing MP higher today. LTHM, look to see if this one gets higher throughout the day. Look at the 15-minute, starting to get back up there. We'll look to see if LTHM can continue the run. All right, keeping a close eye on that Lucid. Could start seeing it going to pull back towards the 1202s. Might get out of here. It's not doing what we want to do, and the SPY is pulling back right now, so you got to be careful. As the SPY starts pulling back, there's the crack there where I don't want to be holding to. Now we just start watching to see if it comes back through that level. Hands on the trigger to get out there. 1195 shows up again, and I'm out. Start getting that pullback. Let's go to Motorsports. MSGM. It's still hanging out there. Now started cracking through that kind of the halt support. You're starting to crack through on the downside there, so you got to be careful. 1196 showing back up here. I'm out of that Lucid trade. Take the small little cut. I'm okay with taking the small little cut there. Not going to stick around there and Lucid out there at the 1195s. We'll look to see if it recovers on the day. SPY starting to come down here. And I have a feeling that might be the topping action today, but we'll see. Apple's going to be a good one to watch because it keeps fighting. It's just fighting above VWAP. We'll see what happens on that one. Microsoft's another important one to watch. I talked about that yesterday, how it could go into the red and start coming right back down, but it's trying to recover today. Still into the green on the hourly. You can see how it's up here. Look to see if this can keep holding. If this keeps holding strong, you could get a nice little green day on the day. SPY overall, not having a bad day. Bouncing back on the day. Putting the fight on the 400s. 400s, I think exactly that level is going to be so vital for the Bulls to keep it at that level. If it can stay at 400, you can still play to the upside. We'll see what happens on these trades. Going to go wrap it up. We'll see what happens on MSGM if it can continue going. But I enjoyed the feedback, team. Enjoyed the feedback of you guys that you want to stick around. You guys want to see more live trading action. That's what you guys gave me today. And guess what? I'm going to talk to the team, and we're going to make something happen. So stick around, team. I don't know if it's going to happen just right now today, but what I'm going to do is starting in February, I'm going to try an all-day live stream here for at least trading action. You guys get ready. I want you guys to tell your friends because we got to make it popping so that Benzinga can see that it's worth it to us to have that live trading all day. I see the feedback. I'll see you guys a little bit later. Up next, you guys should get some Benzinga live action. Let me go ahead and check that that's ready to go. Yes, looks like you got AMD, Snapchat earnings preview, and more coming up next to you on Benzinga Live, of course. You guys don't want to miss that. Let me go ahead and make sure the redirect set there. Yeah, we're set. That's going to be starting at 11:30, team. It's 11:13. I hope that you guys keep battling, keep pushing. Always here for you guys, and reach out to me if you guys need anything or want to learn more here on live trading. I think today we broke down multiple trades. We also broke down multiple trades that had like kind of big breakouts, right? And ways to go after it, like that MSGM, right? I mean, we looked at this early on, but we'll look to see. Can this keep pushing, right? This stock had a nice rule of three pull back through. $7, nice little recovery there also on the 7. A lot of times when you're looking at that pre-market action, look to see if you can come back to those levels, right? Right, we cracked right through the 7, giving you a tight ability there for risk and return back to 8. Just back to 8 itself made sense, probably around 30 cents for a $1 move. Then you really got the move, right? This is why I like to leave sometimes the runner to give you that nice little push. And in these smaller names, and especially the names that have low float, can definitely give you that nice return. We'll look to see if this keeps battling up there. It is keep battling. We'll look to see if it gets back through the 25s. Look how this is acting on the 3-minute. It's trying to get back up through the 25. It just wicked up there, went to 24.60s. We'll look to see if it actually takes out that 25 and keeps battling. Live all day. I hear you, team. Hope you guys enjoyed today's action. Hit the like button. I'll talk to the team to try to get us live all day. You guys keep showing up. We'll keep growing together. Like always, keep building on your skills. And if you guys have any feedback, hit the comments after. Remember, you guys run the show also. You can also reach out by email, shows@benzinga.com. Let them know, hey, we want live trading all day. If you do that, we'll make it happen. That's what it's all about here at Benzinga. All right, team, I'll see you in a little bit. And stay tuned for AB up next, giving you guys some earnings outlook. And, of course, speaking to a great guest. Don't miss it, team. Here's a good one for you today. See you in a little bit.
Check.